Namaskaram Gurudev. As I informed you, Namaskar. So we are about 300 participants in this call, and amongst us we have our respected Managing Director and CEO Sri Rajkiran Rai ji sir, our Executive Director Sri Gopal Singh Gosai sir, Sri Dinesh Kumar Garg sir, Sri Birupaksh Mishra sir, Sri Manas Ranjan Biswal sir, our Chief General Managers and Deputy General Managers. We all are eager to listen to you and lead. I have my leader, Sri Rajkiran Rai ji sir, our MD and CEO, to lead with us. And if you permit, I would invite our MD sir for the first question to you. Yes.
Please go ahead.
Namaste, Shri Gurudev ji.
Namaste.
Your sheer presence has brought us a lot of peace, a lot of calmness, and we are a huge organization, being the fourth largest public sector bank. We are a sea of humanity. The top leaders of the bank are connected and eager to listen to you, Shri ji. So, he asked me to ask a question to you. I think, I am at loss of words to question you because your presence answers all the questions. But for the benefit of my leaders who go through a lot of stress, actually, my question is: we are highly ambitious people with very clear cut targets. So we try to control so many things, but then generally things don't play out the way we want, which leads to stress and fear of failure, and this leads to a lot of conflicts within the organization. Frustration at the top level creates a lot of chaos and uncomfortable environment for the juniors to work. So if you can really bless us with your advice on this, it will really help all of us, Guru.
Yes, Kiranji. First of all, let me give a happy Diwali greetings and happy festival greetings to all of you in Union Bank. We are coming to a festival in this pandemic time, and hope this festival season uplift our spirits, our enthusiasm and our spirit to work for the country and for the people. Now, as you correctly said, there is lot of stress, especially in the past couple of years. Banking sector has gone through a lot of turmoil, and there is lot of mistrust between the stakeholders. This need to be addressed very much. See, when there is an ethical atmosphere where there is high ethics, in an atmosphere where there is high ethics, high commitment, we normally find the trust is also higher. But when few incidences of cheating, unethical behavior of few people comes to surface, it suddenly rings an alarm and people are scared to take decisions. This is quite normal, quite understandable. Now, what do we do in these circumstances? How do we get back to ourselves is a big challenge. We cannot go along like that, in the same state of mind or being so stressed. So, here I would say that we have to see our life from a bigger context, and we should rekindle our commitment, which is already there. Each one of us have a commitment to do something good to the society. That nobody wants to get into bad books of anybody. We all want to do the right thing, especially on the top. And there is an atmosphere that is sometimes congenial and sometimes adverse. So now, when things are okay, then there is no issue at all. But when things are challenging, this is where we need lot of inner strength. And that is where meditation, Vedanta, the wisdom comes to our help. You know, meditation, pranayama rekindles our spirit, help us to go beyond the stressful situations that we are bogged down with. It makes us understand, yeah, I can rise above, I can handle this situation, come what may. This sort of self-confidence or inner power wakes up within us. Now, you see, the first few months of the pandemic, there was terrible fear among people. But now, you see that has already gone to the background. Similarly, when the big scams came out, banks were very, very careful in lending money or attending to the customers. But we have already come past that step. There is more more trust getting built up. So, I would say again and again, we have to cleanse our mind. Our mind is like a slate. We have written something, you have to take the duster and wipe it. If you forget doing this and we keep writing and overwriting on the same board, you can't understand anything. What results is in more confusion, greater confusion and greater confusion. We cannot afford to live our life in paranoia or confusion. So, for this we have to see our life from a broader perspective. Listen to your own conscience. When you see what you do is correct, just do only that. And if someone puts a pressure not to do that or do something differently, either you take that big risk or you say, sir, I cannot do this, I am sorry. Nobody will force you to do which you cannot do. I tell you, we must believe in the principle of karma that says, whatever is due to you will come to you anyway. Yeah. If some good thing is on your way, nobody can stop it. Whatever is yours, it is going to come. When we think of karma, we only think of bad things. I am telling you, even good things, when it is your karma, it will definitely knock on your door. With this confidence, if this will give you enormous confidence to do the right thing and move in the right direction. Yeah.
Thank you, Gurudev. Now I would move to our next speaker and our dignitary, Executive Director, Sri Dinesh Kumar Garg sir, who also wants to pose a question to you. So over to Garg sir.
Guruji, I just wanted to ask, see, in our organization, there are hierarchy and promotion takes place every year. Always like from DCM to GM cadre, from AGM to DCM cadre, and always vacancies are limited and aspirants are more. So when vacancies are less and candidates are more, everybody doesn't get promoted. So those who didn't get their promotions, they feel disheartened and end up they lose their kind of a they are not able to work with the same zeal and energy. So what would you advise to them, sir?
Yeah. Yes, this is the case. Whether it comes to Supreme Court judges, not every judge can become the Chief Justice of India. Not every medical officer can become the Dean of a faculty. Not every teacher can become the principal of every college or school. So, some people had to face the retirement, they had to go back. But I tell you, don't attach too much to the post. In these situations, see, you have many talents. Increase your talents, increase your skills. You know, you can come out and do many other things. Suppose you don't reach to the top post in your profession, nothing should deter you from looking outside, you know, outside the profession. You can become a musician, you can become an artist, you can become a painter, you can become a trainer, you know, you can become a motivational speaker, you can become a great yoga teacher. I mean, the world is so vast and open. Don't narrow your scope. I would say, even at the elderly age, you still have many scope, many opportunities. Don't forget that. You know, a simple officer, government servant, when he retired in Kolkata, you know what he did? He went to his guru, and the guru said, I want you to take this Hare Krishna mantra to all over the world. At the age of 72, Swami Prabhupada, he only with $30 in his pocket, he sat on a boat. 3 months it took for him to reach New York. Somebody's basement he started, it became a big movement. Can you imagine this? A 72 or 73-year-old man doing something like this. These are inspirations for you. You know, someone who has not passed second standard could establish a huge empire called Indian Express. He was selling sabji on the thelas in Mumbai. You know the stories. I would tell all those of you who have had some profession, at least you have gone through some career, some profession, you have made your life, don't narrow your scope, don't get stuck there, keep your mind open. You have so many opportunities and you can rise in many fields. I have seen many bank officers who have retired and has taken up excellent NGO works, you know, in the NGO sector. One example is one lady, Rajita Kulkarni, you must have heard about. She was in the Citibank. She retired, took early retirement. I know she is the president of our university, and she is the president of World Forum for Ethics and Business in Europe, in Brussels, and she is conducting programs around the world. TLEX program, Transformation Leadership Program, and people love it. So if she was worried and sitting and thinking, oh, I must become the MD of the company, when will I get, I am only a trainer now in the company. You know, this is one type of mindset where you keep regretting and get stuck in a position. Instead, you open your eyes, open your mind. There is abundant opportunities. You can become a great writer. I know of many bank employees who become great scholars, great writers. After retirement, they have achieved PhD in literature. So on all these things, I would always encourage every one of those employees who feel that they could not reach the top post. I would tell them, you can gain the top post somewhere else, it is waiting for you. So don't worry.
Thank you, Gurudev. So, in this line of questions, I would like to invite upon our next Executive Director, Sri Birupaksh Mishra sir, to pose a question to you. Over to Mishra sir. Please unmute yourself.
Pranam Guruji. We are indeed blessed to be a part of this discourse, and your relation with wisdom that itself is to a high level. having said that, I would have you on a theory that people say that employees feel good for more, but actually it seldom happens. So, what should you do to make them deliver more to feel good, so that they can feel more good?
First of all, we must invoke the the spirit of commitment in our people. We must know that you are not just standing in front of a vending machine where you put something and take something and walk away. Your workplace is your temple. Your workplace is your second home. You spend more time in your workplace, or at least, if not more, the same amount of time that you spend at home. So, you have to create a sense of belongingness and a family type of atmosphere in the workplace. Usually, what happens in any workplace, people are divided into groups. You like somebody, you don't like somebody else. So, in a workplace where 50 people are working, there will be at least 5 groups or 6 groups, 5 groups of 10 each, or 10 may be a long more number, 10 groups of 5 each. So, the people stay with only those, they become thick friends, and then they become enemies of the same people. Your own friends only become your worst enemies. Someone whom you have a casual acquaintance never becomes your enemy. So, this is because we restrain ourselves or restrict ourselves to a smaller group in the interaction, or creating that sense of belongingness is somewhere missing in all our interactions. This is where we form this Apex program and TLEX programs, in which we create a sense of belongingness among all co-workers, workers and superiors, and then people working underneath you. If you can create this paradigm shift in the workplace, workplace becomes not just a workplace, it becomes a happy place, a place where everyone wants to contribute, wants to stay. In IT industries, people come in and after some time the heads roll very fast there. Talents really go, talents drain a lot in all this. But when we put these programs for them, combined with some meditation and Sudarshan Kriya, I tell you the transformation is so huge, so big, that today Fortune 500 companies, many companies around the world are demanding to have this sort of Apex program, achieving excellence in workplace programs. So, this creating that particular atmosphere, one man cannot create it, or two cannot create. It has to be a commitment from all the stakeholders. For this, we need to sit and work out. That is why the seminars are designed for this, where both in the public sector, private sector and governmental sector. These days we are doing programs for the bureaucrats as well. When bureaucrats sit and they discover, they say, oh my God, this is a very new vision. Rather than thinking what I can get out of the company, having the shift and how I can make this company better when I leave this company is an attitude which would uplift an individual spirit as well as the collective spirit. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Gurudev. So, we have our next speaker, our Executive Director, Shri Manas Ranjan Biswal sir, who heads our human resource, IT and strategy to pose a question to you, sir.
Gurudev Pranam. The core value of an organization begin with its lead, which will then transfer to or evolve to a leadership style. What is the relationship between organizational culture, structure?
Oh,
And what is the role of leadership in
yeah. You know, structure is like the frame for a picture. A structure holds the organization. Structure is needed. It's like the frame of a picture. The frame cannot eat away the picture. It can only hold the picture. Yeah? The culture is what the picture is. The picture, I would say, is the culture. Organized structure is the frame. In this sense, frame is essential. Within the framework, we have to see how the culture is very attractive. Some people are against structures, they don't want structures. But you know, without structure, it is almost impossible for any progress or any tangible result to be achieved. At the same time, okay, there is a great structure, but if the culture is not okay, if the culture is not at all there, then also nothing can be achieved. Because ultimately it is the people who make everything. And people are dependent on culture. While systems are essential, ultimately it's the people, motivated, inspired individuals who can inspire others. आदमी आदमी को आगे व्यक्ति व्यक्ति से चलते हैं, सिद्धांत से नहीं. सिद्धांत से भरे पड़े हैं. You have all the philosophy full of in the libraries. But it is the people who inspire others. It's the people who inspire the people to move on. So I think both are necessary. We need to make the culture, whereas the structure you may not be able to change every day, but the culture is something you can always nurture. Every individual can contribute to the culture and can receive from the culture, the benefits from the culture. Yeah. If there is no work culture, you would see nobody is happy. When the work culture is not there, nobody is happy. So to gain the work culture is a task. Usually I tell people who are entering into their family business, after school and college, when young people, they are so enthusiastic, they want to be entrepreneur, they want to do something of their own. I tell them, first you should get work culture. Go and take up a job, and take up a job under a very tough boss. A very goody boss will not be able to grow you better. You cannot grow under a boss who is so nice to you, sweet to you. You need a boss who takes a stick. Then you get the work culture, you feel good. Then you can go and start your business, you will be grateful. So, this is the normal advice I gave to students who just passed out of their degree or diploma and enthusiastic to start something of their own. So work culture need to be, and respect for any job. See, in a bank we must respect everybody, or in any structure, right from the darban, because it's the darban who takes care of it. When everybody is gone on a holiday, tomorrow Sunday, it's the darban who is there in the gate, and he takes if a robber comes, it's first hit by the darban. So he is your guard, so we must even care for them. Just smile at them, say hi, hello to them. Hey, kya bhai tumne Diwali manaya hai? Kasha ahat? एक बार उससे पूछने से उसका दिल अच्छा लगता है उसको भी. दे फील दैट देखो हमारे बॉस ने, एमडी ने हमसे पूछा, हमारे बॉस ने हमको, किसी और ने हमको अच्छा पूछा, बात करी. तो इस तरह से एक वातावरण निर्माण करने की जो जिम्मे जो है वो हर एक व्यक्ति के ऊपर है. या
धन्यवाद गुरुदेव. Now moving again, for the next question, would like to welcome Shri Nitesh Ranjan sir, our CGM and Head of Strategy.
Gurudev,
Over to Nitesh. Yes, sir.
I hope I am audible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gurudev, I do not have a question, but rather I would seek some guidance. You are the spiritual guru of the world, and I think across the countries and communities, across multiple faiths and beliefs, people seek your guidance. So I am also trying to seek your guidance on two aspects. One which relates to our organization and perhaps many organizations, and one perhaps which can relate to the individual level. Today, incidentally, we are also having a culture summit, and this is in the backdrop that 3 banks have come together on 1st April of this year to form a large union bank. It is like 3 families together. Please guide all of us how to make this coming together of 3 families an event and process, immense happiness, fulfillment. Please share secrets of coming together or have caring organization. Secondly, Gurudev, I would also seek your insights. Today we are witnessing that people in the mid-40s, and many a time I also feel, to kind of seek return from the usual banking business and starting a new beginning, maybe for entrepreneurial venture or being associated with something which is for the benefit of the society. I would like to know from you, is this a good trade what we are saying, or is it the complexity of our life that is perhaps influencing us to think like it? Thank you, Gurudev.
Yeah. See, when Ganga and Jamuna has met in Prayagraj, if you go further, you cannot separate Ganga and Yamuna Jal. You just call it Ganga only, because there is Ganga, Jamuna, Alaknanda, all the rivers have come together. So you cannot separate later on. The same way, yes, you all had different identities and all the 3 banks have merged together. Now it is one system. It's like if you visit a Goshala, what happens in Goshala, all different color cows are there, they milk all the cows. But when they put all the milk, it's in one can only. It's one can contains the milk of, you cannot say this is from Gir cow, this is from this another cow. All the cows' milks are already there in that. In the same way, brands may be different, names may be different. Even Union Bank, it has many branches. Like so many branches are there. Each branch, if it thinks they are their own bank and then nothing to, because that Borivali branch is doing better than Vile Parle branch, and then it has no meaning in it. So it is one bank, so one brand. In the same way, very different brands were there. They're all amalgamated into one. If you go to a temple, they do Ashtotra Namarchana, Sahasra Namarchana. In Sahasra, it's same Ganpati, you have so many names, Ashtavinayaka, different Siddhi Vinayaka, Heramba Vinayaka. So many names are there, but brands are there, these are all different names. but the goal is the same and it reaches the same end. So as bank is the backbone of our economy. So this is the place where Lakshmi resides, and you are giving Lakshmi to people, sending Lakshmi to their homes. So we must think that this is a sacred work. In fact, Kuber is considered really the banker. He gives whatever money is needed, and by the order of Lakshmi. See, our Indian mythology, our philosophical system was something very unique in the world. Though it appears to be story on the surface, when you go deep into it, it has great wealth, great depth in it. So as I said earlier, there is nothing wrong in aspiring to be an entrepreneur. Yes, you took a bank job, you have done well there, after some time, that is why this scheme even there, early retirement, anyone wants to take an early retirement, the scheme is there because you have seen, now it's good, you take retirement, you set on your, your passion of entrepreneurship, and you will also give way for a new employee there. You are creating an opportunity for others to get involved, get into the bank. In a way, that's good, you can do that. But you have to think properly, plan properly, which area of business you must enter, how you would go, would you get right partners, right skills for it. All this is open to you. Now, you don't have to be stuck all your life till the end to do the same thing. It's good, I would encourage everyone after 20 years, 15, 20 years of service in the bank, you must take voluntary retirement. There is so much to do in the country. If some of you are interested in politics, you must go to politics. Some of you are interested in skills development, you must go. Some of you are interested in education. I would encourage people to get into the field of education. See, this country needs people. And young people who have just come out of their college and schools, they cannot afford to, not everybody is able to or afford to jump into this entrepreneur or explore other activities. You having established yourself to some level financially, I think you can as well take this. And I am telling you, you will be successful. There is no doubt about it. Because you know how to manage, you know finances. When you know finances, you can always do well in business. Often people who just enter into business, they who know nothing about finance, they take a beating. This is my observation. You will be in a better position to judge that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gurudev. So if you allow, shall I ask the next speaker to raise a question?
Yeah.
So I would like to invite Shri Kalyan Kumar sir, our Chief General.
Namaskar, Gurudev.
Namaskar.
A very personal question actually. We know banking job is mainly about dealing with people. Then it is very much required about effective connecting with our customers and also with our employees. So for which better understanding of self and people is required. Though we are on that journey, so I seek your guidance how to be more self-aware. Any tips will be very, very helpful for all of us. Gurudev.
First of all, we must be free from stress. We cannot take the home stress or family stress or any other stress back to workplace. When we come to workplace, we are completely different people. We are only focused, our outlook is for our customers, how to make them happy, what you can do best to both the institution and the customers. So I'm sure everybody has this intention, but why it doesn't materialize is because of the stress. I would say if you do some meditation, 20 minutes of meditation in the lunch break time, or in the morning, or in the evening, and in the evening, at least twice a day if you meditate, you will see naturally your disposition will be so friendly and pleasing to people. See, we convey more through our vibration than through words. We can talk 1 hour about better communication, but one smile will make that happen better, you know. So you need not convince somebody too much. You just look at them, smile, and just few words you say, they get convinced. So I feel we convey more through our vibrations. If our vibrations are positive and vibrant, positive and uplifting, it will definitely come across to the person whom you are dealing with also. So meditation is essential. I would recommend everyone to do meals and meditation in your lunch break. If you all have food together, before food, 20 minutes guided meditation. I have made number of meditation tapes in all languages, and I made several apps. You can put those one of the app and just sit. We don't need to do anything. Meditation will happen to us. So this would be the best thing. And today you see 70 universities in America have made this part of their curriculum. They have put these programs because they found it is so beneficial for students and for the faculty to be free from their stress. Also World Bank has taken up these programs. World Bank is doing, American Express is doing, many other banks, Singapore Bank, all over the world. Why they are looking for this? Because they have found benefit in it. That's why they are continuing with meditation in their workplace. This is something which has originated in this country, but somehow we have become little late in taking it. So it is high time we also adopt meditation in our workplaces to feel more energetic, happier, and effective in our lives. Yeah.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Dhanyavad, Gurudev. The last question is from our CGM, Shri Ashok Chandra sir. Over to Chandra sir.
Sadat Pranam, Gurudev.
Acha, namaskar.
Gurudev. We are already blessed with your CR presence. And I just need and seek one guidance which we generally face in our professional life. I'm just referring to one situation when we feel that things are not happening as what we desire or what we envisage, and we change our plan of action. And even after changing the plan of action, we feel that yes, still the desired results are not forthcoming. Now, under that circumstances, what are the things which we need to do which will keep us motivated, as well as our team members also will get motivated, or they will also be motivated?
Yeah.
Just seek your guidance.
See, one thing, let us face the fact, let us accept this. Not all our decisions of anybody will always be fruitful, will fructify. Not all decisions. Having accepted this, you see what is the ratio. If you take 10 decisions, out of which if 8 or 7 or 8 are successful, you are in a very good place. 2-3 decisions of yours does not work or did not work, we just don't worry about it. If out of all the 10 decisions, 9 of them or 8 of them, even 5 of them are collapsing, then we must know that we have to do something about it. We have taken decisions when we were tensed, when we were stressed, when we had no clarity of mind, then meditation is the answer. When we sit and meditate, our intuitive ability increases. When our intuition comes up, there is no way that you make mistakes. If you take 10 decisions, all the 10 out of 10 becomes the right one. This is when you are good in meditation, and when you practice it regularly, morning, evening, your intuitive ability increases. This is number one. Second is, even if it was a wrong decision, you have learned something from it, and you have set an example for others what they cannot do or should not do also. Even in that case, you should not regret. You have taken a wrong decision, it has set a lesson for many, including you, so it is doing good for the future. It is stop. Otherwise, if you have not taken, someone in the future might take that same wrong decision, and it would create problem then also. So now it has happened, at least it has saved the future generations or future of many in the planet, an example what they should not be doing. So in this case also, we need not sit and regret and worry about it, number two. Third thing is, some decisions appear to be right at that moment, but later on they prove to be wrong. Some other decision momentarily may appear to, oh, this is a wrong, I should have taken a different decision. But given the time, you will see that your decision, you will appreciate, yeah, though you thought it was wrong, on a long run it is yielding a good result to you. So that's why I would say our judgment should be beyond the time. It should not be time barred. See, today's judgment, we should not sit on it, because that can, it's not in the, like in the court, there is a time bar for things. In life there is no time bar. For lifetimes together we can review our decisions, our judgments. See, even Shiva, when he gave, even Brahma gave many wrong boons to people. Brahma ने भी कई लोगों को वर दे दिया, वर दे के फिर पछतावा कर रहे थे, फिर शंकर जी के पास दौड़ना पड़ा, भस्मासुर को वर दे के क्या करना। देखिए, वो तो उस वक्त स्पॉन्टेनिटी आती है, उस वक्त और कोई रास्ता नहीं, चारा नहीं, ब्रह्मा जी ने तो वर दे दिया और शिव जी ने भी वर दे दिया। फिर वो विष्णु के पास दौड़े, फिर विष्णु ने मोहिनी का अवतार लेके फिर भस्मासुर का संहार किया। हमने हमारे चरित्र में, हमारे पुराणों में ये सब बातें सुनी है। तो इसलिए हम बहुत ज़्यादा चिंता नहीं करना चाहिए गलत डिसीजन, सही डिसीजन। स्पॉन्टेनिटी में आप बिलीव करिए, वॉट एवर इज नीडेड एट द राइट टाइम, वेन एवर वी नीड टू डू द राइट थिंग, वी जस्ट डू इट एंड वी मूव ऑन। बहुत अच्छा, नाइस बीइंग विथ यू ऑल। सब हमारे लक्ष्मी पुत्र को सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई और दिवाली की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you. Dhanyawad, Gurudev. This was all from our side. Over to you.
You can take, if you want, about 3-4 minutes break. You want to drink some water or use the washroom, then we'll have a meditation, 20 minutes or 15 minutes meditation. We can have that. Maybe exactly in 5 minutes we can start. Yeah? Namaste.
Right, Gurudev.